Your text paints a vivid picture of an electrifying moment in boxing, a sport where skill, power, and strategy collide in the ring. It's a chaotic symphony of punches, music, and crowd reactions, capturing the essence of a fight that's as much about spectacle as it is about supremacy. The scene you described feels like a highlight reel come to life. Jess breaking his opponent's face with a thunderous right hand, Canelo Alvarez landing devastating blows, and the buzz of a fight being stopped as the victor stands triumphant. There's an undeniable energy here, one that pulls you into the narrative of two titans, Canelo Alvarez and Terence "Bud" Crawford, on a collision course that's sparking debates across the boxing world. Let's dive deeper into this matchup, exploring the stakes, the styles, and the sheer magnitude of what this fight could mean. The clip you've shared seems to blend commentary, fight highlights, and analysis into a whirlwind of excitement. It's as if you're ringside, hearing the thuds of gloves against flesh, the crowd's roar, and the announcer's voice cutting through the chaos. Jess, whoever he is in this moment, delivers a crushing blow, breaking his opponent's face, as you put it, while Canelo's name emerges as the centerpiece of this narrative. That right hand landing on the side of the head, the neck buckling under the force, and the fight ending in a dramatic stoppage, it's the kind of sequence that defines boxing's brutal beauty. Then there's the mention of Canelo's dominance, his reputation as a fighter who doesn't just win but crushes, and the looming question: can Crawford, a welterweight king, step into this world and survive? Canelo Alvarez is more than a boxer. He's a phenomenon. With 62 wins, 39 knockouts, and titles across 4 weight divisions, his resume reads like a highlight reel of modern boxing. From junior middleweight at 154 pounds to light heavyweight at 175, he's climbed the ladder, taking on legends like Gennady Golovkin and dismantling elite champions with a mix of power, skill, and experience. The text you provided captures this perfectly, describing him as untouchable, a generational talent who's not just the best but a fighter who's redefined what it means to dominate. His fights are masterclasses. The way he broke down Billy Joe Saunders with a single uppercut that shattered an eye socket, or how he systematically dismantled Caleb Plant with body shots and a fight-ending left hook. These aren't just wins, they're statements. Then there's Terence Crawford, a name that carries its own weight. Undefeated with 41 wins, 31 by knockout, he's a 3-division world champion who's made welterweight his kingdom. His destruction of Errol Spence Jr. in 2023 wasn't just a victory, it was a coronation, cementing him as one of the sport's pound-for-pound elite. Crawford's style is a thing of beauty. Fast, elusive, and technically brilliant, with a switch-hitting ability that keeps opponents guessing. Floyd Mayweather Jr., no stranger to greatness, has called him the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world today. But now, with talks of Crawford moving up to 168 pounds to face Canelo, the conversation shifts from skill to reality. Can the welterweight king challenge the super middleweight emperor, or is he stepping into a realm where size and power trump even the sharpest technique? Size matters in boxing. It's a truth as old as the sport itself. Canelo has proven he can dominate bigger men, walking down the 6'3" Callum Smith and knocking out the light heavyweight Sergey Kovalev with a precision that defies his 5'8" frame. He's not just fighting at these weights. He's thriving, carrying his power and durability across divisions. Crawford, at 147 pounds, has never faced this kind of challenge. His speed and accuracy have made him untouchable at welterweight, but 168 pounds is a different beast. It's not just about gaining weight, it's about facing fighters who've lived at that size, who've conditioned their bodies to take and give punishment at a level Crawford hasn't encountered. Former champion Dimitri Bivol, one of the few to beat Canelo, pointed out how fighters moving up too fast can get overwhelmed. Even Manny Pacquiao, a legend who carried power across divisions, struggled against the sheer mass of bigger men. Canelo's power is the great equalizer. It's not wild or reckless, it's precise, timed, and devastating. Against Saunders, that uppercut in the 8th round didn't just win the fight, it ended it with surgical brutality. Against Plant, his relentless pressure and a left hook in the 11th round turned a competitive bout into a knockout clinic. And with Kovalev, a single counterpunch in the 11th round sent a light heavyweight crashing to the canvas. Joe Rogan, a voice that bridges boxing and broader combat sports, has marveled at Canelo's ability to refine this power through training, making it a weapon that's both natural and honed. For Crawford, this is uncharted territory. He's knocked out welterweights with ease, but absorbing a punch from a super middleweight like Canelo, whose blows have broken bigger men, is a different story. But it's not just power that defines Canelo, it's his defense. He's no brawler charging in blindly. Over the years, he's evolved into a defensive maestro, slipping punches, weaving out of danger, and turning misses into counterattacks. Rogan credits his 2013 loss to Mayweather as a turning point. Watching Canelo stand in front of Daniel Jacobs, bobbing and weaving while Jacobs flailed, is a testament to how he's internalized those lessons. His head movement, footwork, and sense of distance make him a puzzle opponents can't solve. Crawford, a counterpuncher himself, thrives on drawing foes into mistakes, but Canelo doesn't bite. He's patient, calculated, and rarely takes unnecessary risks. This defensive wall could neutralize Crawford's speed, turning his greatest asset into a frustration. Then there's the ring IQ, the chess match within the fight. Canelo doesn't just react, he anticipates. Against Golovkin, he adjusted from countering in their first bout to pressing the attack in the rematch. With Kovalev, he waited, absorbed, and struck at the perfect moment. He's always downloading data, setting traps, and finding ways to win as the rounds pile up. Gary Russell Jr. likened him to Jason Voorhees, relentless, coming stronger in the later rounds, breaking opponents down with calculated pressure. Crawford's a strategist too, but Canelo's experience against elite competition gives him an edge. He's faced every style, every challenge, and emerged sharper each time. In a battle of minds, Canelo's track record suggests he's a step ahead. The weight of greatness adds another layer. At 168 pounds, Canelo's a king, his body built for the division, his power sustained over 12 rounds. Mike Tyson sees this as Crawford's downfall, those late rounds where Canelo's strength could overwhelm. Roy Jones Jr. argues strategy might outweigh size, but the reality is Crawford stepping into uncharted waters. Moving up multiple weight classes to face a dominant champion is a gamble. Ryan Garcia predicts Crawford might hang tough for 6 or 8 rounds, maybe even lead early with his speed, but then Canelo takes over. Julio Cesar Chavez, a Mexican boxing icon, is blunter. Canelo knocks him out in 6 or 7. Bob Arum, a promoter who knows both fighters, agrees, seeing Canelo's size and power as too much. Virgil Ortiz, a rising star, respects Crawford but echoes the sentiment. Weight classes exist for a reason. So, what do I think? Crawford's skill set is extraordinary. His speed, movement, and versatility make him a nightmare at 147 pounds. He could dart in and out, using angles to frustrate Canelo early, landing jabs and counters to steal rounds. But boxing isn't fought on paper. Canelo's not just bigger, he's a force, relentless, precise, and battle-tested at this weight. His power isn't just about hurting you, it's about breaking you over time. Crawford's never taken punishment from a fighter like this, and while his defense is sharp, Canelo's ability to cut off the ring and land heavy shots could erode that advantage. The Mexican superstar's experience, adaptability, and sheer physicality tilt the scales. Could Crawford defy the odds? It's possible. His speed might keep him ahead early, and if he can avoid Canelo's power while picking his spots, he could make it competitive. History loves an underdog. Think Pacquiao leaping divisions to stun the world. But Canelo's not a typical opponent. He's a generational talent who's made a career of crushing dreams. I see him wearing Crawford down, landing a big shot around the 7th or 8th round, and finishing it with the kind of statement he's known for. Weight classes matter, and at 168 pounds, this is Canelo's world. What about you? Do you think Crawford's skill can overcome Canelo's size and power? Can his movement outlast the pressure, or will Canelo's dominance prove too much? Boxing thrives on these debates, where skill meets reality and legends are tested. Let's hear your take.